YouTube, what the crap's going on? Heir of Carthage here. We are back in the Bactria vs. Bactria mirror match, and if these replays are anything like the other ones, the yellow here should be Armenian King. The yellow on blue Bactrian banners, that'll be Armenian King. The blue on red banners over here will be Pokepax. Let's take a look at the builds. I think depending on the builds they've chosen and how they get used, it's going to make a huge difference in who the winner is. 3 Mercenary Scythian Horse Archers for Armenian King. His main line is Thorax Swords, supported by a Bactrian Royal Guard, which is kind of a hoplite unit. Very sturdy spot for your general. We have 5 Bactrian Noble Horse. 4. And then we've got an Eastern Spear, just probably to soak up some last funds, and an Indian Armored Elephant. So, Armenian King's build looks pretty straightforward here. I want to slay your infantry with my elephants. We got a Bactrian Royal Cav, so a shock cavalry on the part of Pokepax. 4 Bactrian Noble Horse. 2 horse skirmishers, interesting. And let's see what he's got out here. Eastern Spears, Thurio Spears, another Eastern Spear. So a couple of speed bump units, Persian Light Archer. Main line is 6 Thorax Swords. So as far as a mainline infantry engagement, I'd probably give the edge to Pokepax, I guess, just because he has 6 sword units, but I don't know, this Bactrian Royal Guard can tank out a Thorax Sword for sure, so I think it's pretty even still. Kind of depends on who gets the charges. This mobile skirmishing that Armenian King has is going to be hard for Pokepax to counter. He's now got a Horse Archer in behind him, and with only 1 Persian Light Archer and a couple of Horse Skirmishers, it's going to be hard for him to gain any sort of skirmishing advantage to get at these elephants. Not to say that it can't happen, I just think it's going to be challenging. And these Horse Archers are going to be able to do a lot of harassment on these Bactrian Noble Horse. He's going to really need these Thurio Spears to drive the Horse Archers out, and that's exactly what we're seeing from Pokepax here. This is exactly the way you get rid of Horse Archers right here. Yep, that's how you do it. Keep the Horse Archers back, but at the same time, that means these Thurio Spears are going to be hurling javelins at Horse Archers, javelins that probably need to be used on the Armored Elephants, so even though it's the right move, losing those javelins is going to be bad. And again, more harassment from the Scythian Horse Archers at 40 missile attack. These guys are a real danger to enemy cavalry. Now, nice shots from the Persian Light Archers, killing 3 of the Horse Archers. But again, that just means that Pokepax is now going to have to focus in his back lines and in his front lines. And then we've got the Mercenary Horse Archers coming back a little. The Horse Skirmishers are on the wrong flank to be able to go after the Armored Elephants. So this is probably intentional from Armenian King to move these guys over here away from the enemy Horse Skirmishers, and you can now see the Horse Skirmishers moving this way. That's why Horse Skirmishers are more versatile versus elephants than foot skirmishers, because they can reposition more quickly. And as you can see here, if you had 2 javelin men on this flank, and all of a sudden the elephants shift over here, it's going to take you a long time to get over here. Whereas the Horse Skirmishers are now basically already in position. Where did they get to? Yeah, right here. Yeah, they're already in position to help fend off the elephants. But again, with all these Scythian Horse around, that's going to be a tricky engagement. We do have a Bactrian Royal Cav, or Bactrian Noble Horse versus Eastern Spearmen here. Eastern Spearmen don't look like they got particularly beat up on the charge, not for Eastern Spearmen at least, but they're still wanting to rout and didn't kill a single Bactrian horse. That's why I don't even really like bringing these guys as speed bumps, because they even suck as speed bumps, to be honest. They just get trounced by everything every time. They are some really pitiful infantry. Now they might be good at baiting volleys out of missile units. And check this out, very aggressive move with the Bactrian Noble Horse, Armenian King. Thurio Spear, or Eastern Spearmen are displaced. Thurio Spears look like they're trying to get towards the elephants. And the Horse Skirmishers are going to get zoned out by a Bactrian Noble Horse. Archers are exposed here. Ooh, they're going to get caught. The Horse Skirmishers are out of position. Here comes a brilliant flank charge from the Armored Elephants. But he pulls away from the charge. Oh, now he's going to go for it because the swords are trying to reposition. Hopefully Armenian King's pulling, yep, he is pulling his infantry, and he's going to want to capitalize on this temporary maneuvering development he's got here. So he's going to have to throw in the Bactrian Royal Cav. Horse Skirmishers desperately trying to get to the Indian Elephants, but they are getting caught in melee against the few Bactrian Noble Horse. A few javelins coming in, but oh, now the elephants are into melee with them. That's going to be bad for the morale of the horse skirmishers, which is very low. Scythians back here going to get the Persian light archers. The sword engagement is going to go to Armenian King at the moment, just because all these units are back here dealing with elephants. And I really think Armenian King did a great job with these elephants. Great job. Yeah, that was some nice maneuvering here with those Bactrian noble horse. That's what I would call a screening maneuver. He comes in, basically screens out all of the enemy troops in this zone that could have dealt with the elephants. And Pokepax tried to get his guys around here and deal with it, and just wasn't able to do it in time, and 116 of his men died, and his swords were charged. And so he's going to be losing the sword fight. Now the elephants are running amok at this point, and doing damage to both players. And the horse skirmishers ejecting all their ammo. It's not going to be enough ammo to kill the elephants, though, and that's going to be interesting, because eventually these guys are going to stop running amok. I do not believe the horse skirmishers have enough ammo to finish it. And the Bactrian Royal Cav getting thrashed with only 44 kills. That's also going to be... Oh, and then Bactrian Noble Horse into the back of this fight that was already being won. Well, no, Armenian King wasn't winning it. I thought he was, but he is winning it now, if he wasn't before. Now he's going to bring in more thorax swords, but that damage is going to be done there, I think. And the elephants are going to stop running amok here very soon. Persian light archers did survive. And we've got Thurio spears hurling javelins on fire at will at these thorax swords when they really need to be focused at here on the elephants. And if those elephants are not killed by Pokepax here shortly, then this game will be over. It is a very close game still at this point if you took the elephants out of the mix. But the morale of Pokepax troops is really starting to fade here in the center, and if these elephants make it back in here, I do fear that that is going to be game over for Pokepax. We'll see. They are taking javelin fire and could run amok at any moment here. Okay, he's going to charge with the Bactrian Royal Cav. Not a bad, yep, he did enough damage. These guys are now running amok again, but that fear factor still comes into play against Pokepax's infantry. And his general here is at high risk of dying. Persian light archers shooting some flaming volleys, trying to keep the Indian elephants running amok, and 3 of them just fell. So that's going to be big, but Pokepax's infantry just shattered here. So, yeah, Armenian King's going to have this one, I think. Let's see what's left here. So, a lot of Bactrian noble horse left, though. Cav General, though, is very wavering on morale. There's still quite a few swords left. Pokepax could get in here with these swords. He's instead going to get clean charged here by Armenian King, so that's not going to be good for these swordsmen. They're going to take the worst of that engagement, and they're outnumbered. Elephant's still alive. Pokepax's general is still alive. Here comes a rear charge by more Bactrian noble horse. That's going to do some morale damage, as well as a few kills. Bactrian noble horse are very heavy, and they can be pretty punishing as far as knocking men over in a rear charge. Or heavy melee cav, not very heavy. That was not really a great charge from the Bactrian general here. I don't know if he was fleeing from the elephants or what, or just going all in. Oh, yeah, these elephants. Yep. So, definitely risky, I think, by Pokepax to not bring his own elephants. It does free up a whole lot of spend if you don't bring those elephants. But I still feel like that's a risk, because the player with the elephants is going to be able to kind of dictate the terms of the engagement usually. And for me, at least, I find that I'm not as good at an engagement where it's being dictated to me as one where I'm dictating the match. And elephants definitely give you the power to dictate how the terms of the engagement will go. Doesn't mean that they'll always be successful, but they are a unit that forces your opponent to act a certain way in order to counter them, and you can use that to your advantage. I think those initial gutsy maneuvers by Armenian King really paid off here in this late game. And they were very gutsy. But again, you can see it definitely paid off. So Thurio spears left here. I don't know if they still have javelins or not. If they do, they would probably be trying to throw them at the elephants, but instead they're charging. So I'm guessing they're out of javelins. Another elephant just fell, though. So he's down to 3 elephants. But 350 kills will definitely be a worthwhile investment into the armored elephants. And it's a relatively close battle still, but Armenian King is going to take this one, unless something really weird happens here. Yeah. So let's finish the match off here by just getting in close and personal with these Indian elephants. And these guys really doing the damage here. But I would say actually the MVPs of this battle for Armenian King was his Bactrian noble horse that came in and screened out that whole zone of Pokapak's troops in order for the elephants to get in like they did. So they basically had to play the sacrificial role to get his guys in there, and I would say that that was really what tipped this match. So more units for, and when you think about it, it's pretty straightforward. He gets 3 extra units for the cost of the elephants, and it can definitely make a difference if you're able to stop the elephants. And Thurio spears are definitely capable of slowing down elephants, if not stopping them. Horse skirmishers are also a capable unit, and Persian light archers kind of give you that long range ability to shoot at elephants, so it's not like he didn't have the tools here to do it. But again, at least for me, I find it easier to be the one with the elephants than sometimes to be playing against a good player who has them and try and stop them. Again, that's just personal experience for me, but very well played by both players. These were some interesting games, and I thoroughly enjoyed this final. I think one of the things that I really enjoy about the tournament that Maximus did here, and other people have done similar things, is the way the factions were picked here was very interesting to me. Maximus going out and picking 2 factions that have an interesting matchup together and then settling tiebreakers with a mirror matchup. I really like that. It basically means that each player comes into each match with an equal opportunity, and where they gain the edge is in their skill of army choice and also their skill of countering what your opponent chooses. So, and especially when you get into these mirror matches, you know what your opponent's going to bring, or sorry, you know what they can bring, and what you choose and what they choose is going to weigh heavily into how it gets played out, but then to your ability to use what you have to go after victory. So great games, again, by all players in the tournament. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. All the matches, I believe, are up on Maximus's channel, and of course I'm always going to link you to that so you can go check it out. Maximus makes some great videos, and again, he's not the only one. Armenian Kings makes videos as well, and his are also very good. So if you want to see more Rome 2 action other than what I show you, by all means, go check these guys out. I think you'll enjoy it. I watch a lot of videos from these guys all the time too, just trying to learn a little more about the game and see what their perspective is. So Armenian King's going to win himself a copy of Attila, so that'll be pretty exciting. Anyway, again, good game to the players. Thank you, Maximus, for allowing me to cast it. Looks like you had a very successful tournament. I know I enjoyed it, and I feel like my viewers did as well. And I will be signing off, and see you all soon.